Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, September the 28th, 2019. My name is Doug from digitalcurrencytraders.com. This morning, we're going to go through about 20 minutes to go through 6 or 7 different altcoins. And then at the end, I'm going to take requests for any coin that you would like me to take a look at. So in this episode, we'll go over the relative strength index, the on-balance volume, the MACD indicator, the Ichimoku cloud for most of our coins that we're going to look at. And we honor new subscribers. If you subscribe during the stream, you get a little song and dance, and you get updated onto our feed here. Just a quick disclaimer before we get going. This isn't trading advice, just market observation. So let's go into the main screen here and abruptly change music. The stream chat box is really driving me crazy this last while. It works intermittently. And not right now, it seems, again. So I'm trying to get this to work every stream. I'm working at it and going through all of the settings and what have you. If you have any tips on, what is this, Streamlabs chat integration, that would be great. So let me know where in the world you are from. If you're up at 7 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, watching the cryptocurrencies, we are like-minded individuals for sure. So we're going to start off by going through Bitcoin and just some stuff in the short-term time frame. I just finished doing the live stream on Bitcoin and did more of a detailed analysis. Now I just want to zoom into some of the details we were watching for to unfold from that video. Still watching for this to break lower or to continue higher from here in this triangle, since we have a tiny little 1, 2, 3 formation and a divergence in the price from the RSI. It's not definitive, it happens regularly, so we're just really watching for a break one way or the other in this RSI as prices are moving. Let me blast into Bitcoin on balance volume. Nothing good going on, in fact, nothing good going on. You can see that we've got negative volume and that it's broken below this 1, 2, 3 top now. I don't have voice. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Because it seems to be working. Everything seems to be working. Maybe it's just too low. At any rate, let's continue on through Bitcoin. Maybe you can just sort of infer from watching what I'm pointing to in the charts here for now. But let me know if you can hear me. This is the next thing we're looking at, is the cross negative as we're coming down here. That is bearish as that occurs on the 1 hour time frame. And if we go out to the 4 hour time frame, it still hasn't crossed positive. I mean, it is crossed positive, but it's got a little bit to go before it crosses negative. That 1 hour was really key for what we're watching. And if we go into the Ichimoku cloud, even on the 15-minute time frame, awesome. Good, you can hear. Send Crypto, good to have you along. I was watching one of your videos just a little bit ago. So this is going below the cloud. And I want to be bullish. I was wanting it to come up to the 88 range and give us some bull and then pull back from there and really dump. But we may not even get there. We're slipping off this, more of the pissing off the roof formation as things are coming down. So let's see how that plays out. And as that happens, now the lead was talking about why is Bitcoin dominance so important. Bitcoin dominance is a measure of how big Bitcoin is compared to the rest of the cryptocurrencies. When you take the whole pot of altcoin market cap for everything, Bitcoin and altcoins, and you put it all together and watch that track over time, there's not a very big of a change of that whole pot of money. But what happens is that pot of money changes from side to side inside that pot. So people will go from Bitcoin into cryptocurrencies, and we can see Bitcoin dominance dropping when that's happening. When people are going from cryptocurrencies into Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin dominance rising. And there have been some famous times, if I go to the 1 week view, there has been some famous times, of course, that we are all familiar with, from March of 2017 is the most famous one. As Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $3,000, Bitcoin dominance slipped big time, and altcoins went up from 1,000 to 4,000% in that period of time. And so, of course, all of us are watching super closely to see that kind of detail happening again, that the altcoins would be absolutely blasting off. And I know that they are starting to blast off. We'll get into those main 6 altcoins in 1 second. I know they are blasting off because of our spreadsheet. I went through this spreadsheet and started collecting these details in this data because I wanted to be able to show it. I know how it works, but I wanted to be able to demonstrate it. And some of the most important changes that we've seen in this so far is this change from bull to bear. Green is bullish, red is bearish. And as this is coming, you see it's going less bearish and more bullish, and it looks good, but things all pulled back from there. And if we open that up and we get into more detail into these 3 different times here, we can see that we had a whole bunch of bullish alerts, but no hold status coins. Then we had a whole bunch more alerts, but no hold status coins, very few. This time we have a whole bunch of alerts and a whole wave of hold status coins as well. So we can go back to we can take this bull market watch spreadsheet, which is a bonus for patron sponsors, and we can go back through time to see which coins were alerts on every single day. So we can see that through July, we had quite a range of alerts all popping up here. But if we go to the next filter and we look at the number of holds in July, we hardly had any. Things were looking pretty good, but they never really got to a buy-in status. And having that kind of filter to keep you out of the market at the right time is really important. A fantastic benefit here. But as we can see from this data at the beginning, now things are changing, and Bitcoin dominance already is making a top formation that all of the alts are really respecting. I'm going to jump into those charts in 1 minute, but I want to point out that our alerts for Binance are now rocking it. So we really can tell which are the coins on the leading edge, which are the ones that are taking off first, and we're just ignoring the ones that are not taking off. So we've really loaded up on these ones that are ahead of the pack, and they've been crushing it. It's been phenomenal. So you can find out more in the links in the description down below for becoming a patron sponsor to have access to that spreadsheet, and you can become an alerts subscriber as well so that you get those automated alerts that are sent out. Oh, we got another one sent out through our Discord chat. So you can see here that as these things go live, here the target entry for DNT has been hit here this morning. Awesome. And that is from our spreadsheet that I update manually, and then it automatically triggers when things are hit. Now, the purpose of this stream, and I got way off topic here, I wanted to go directly into it, is to go through all of these coins and to check out their indicators. So I want to go through ADA all the way through and check out the indicators for it. In the long-term view, we've got a good divergence in the RSI, but that doesn't mean much. It could take a long time for this to actually manifest. When we're looking in closer now, I'm watching to see what is the RSI doing. I'm wanting it to trend upwards and upwards. So that it pulls back and comes to the midline is kind of weak. If it goes back below the midline, so will prices, and we'll have to wait a while for this formation to build out, so that we're not getting sucked in to buying into a sideways market. But we can wait. We'll make our money work for us. Let's go into ADA in the on balance volume. Start off a little bit longer term view and now zoom in because I want to see what is going on right at this point. Pretty good buying all the way along and just easing off. So when it does get set up properly, now we've got some nice levels here. Really nice support and resistance levels all the way along that we can wait for it to build above those levels to start establishing a position, and then think of adding on to that position. Should the trend change and it start to go up, then we've got some juice. But for now, it's like, hold on, just stand back on this one. And if we go into the MACD indicator for ADA and look at the 1 month view, it's almost crossing negative. It's crossed positive here on the 4-hour time frame, which is good, except that if it crosses negative on the 4-hour time frame, that's confirming what we're already seeing on the 1-hour time frame. So there's no buy signal in this until the 1 hour crosses back positive and hits us back up above these levels. And even then, it would have to be a micro position because we are already established sideways and we're not changing the corner and going up. I'm certain that the Ichimoku cloud is going to dance with us here too. So if I go into the 1 hour time frame, 4-hour time frame. Oh, look, actually, love it. Caught me out because when that crossed over last time, we had this 1, 2, 3 top formation and that crossed, it just matched everything. It was awesome. So let's see how this matches in the future. If this matches everything and this continues up and goes above the cloud, we have our dancing signal. But not so good in the 1 hour time frame. So gotta wait on this. Let's go on to BCH ABC. And I want to categorize these markets. It's changed. So I want to categorize these markets. As we're going through all of the cryptos on Binance, and you go through 200 charts, you start to see, hey, there's 8 charts that look like this and 7 charts that look like that. And what I'm finding is that there are charts that are having a range from August to July, so mostly August. Maybe this isn't a good example for it, but that we are below these levels, below this August level, is like, just keep your hands off this market, pretty much sell it even if it's going down further. So all of the cryptos that are down below these levels, they're not in our alert statuses at all. We're stepping back from those and we're only paying attention to those that have made it above this support and resistance level. So even before I go in any further to BCH ABC, it doesn't conform to the patterns that I'm looking for an entry. I can't trade it. That's all I need to do for looking at this coin. And then we go on to EOS, and it almost gets into that same category, but it puts itself back where now it could be a springboard pattern. After this builds up and breaks out here, I could have stage 1 of my trade and stage 2 above here. But this is also set back so much in the chart pattern itself that there's no need to go into the indicators. That's it. Done trading it. And by getting these patterns built into your mind, you know that when to pay attention to these. And though I was really poo-hoo on Ethereum earlier and the on-balance volume wasn't good, we had a 1, 2, 3 that I said I'm not trading it. It's too small. I wanted to get bigger. Now it's getting bigger. So this is worth looking at the indicators for to see, is this a buy signal that it's going to be breaking up higher, or is this a top formation that's going to go down lower? I believe our indicators should give us that insight. Oh, right away. Look at this, super overbought territory and less overbought. So that divergence right there is a kick. It's a break of this uptrend line here that hasn't recovered yet. The good part is that the RSI has given us a good bounce point, so that if we do come down and bounce off that again, and we're making a position, now we could build into a bigger ascending wedge triangle. That if the RSI would cooperate with us and build that, then it's nice because it turns into my ideal trading pattern. So it's easy to draw these things, but we have to have the specific point on the chart that is our entry and a specific point that is our exit. Every single time, no matter when you're looking at the chart, you could take a chart of peanut prices and do your technical analysis with this 1, 2, 3 formations, and you would know when you're getting in and getting out. So this divergence kicks me out and makes me not want to think that this is jumping up and going to go higher. Just on the RSI. So now if we go on to the MACD indicator and zoom back, I want to take a longer term view. The 12 hour is actually just about to cross positive. So that is juicy because we've got more and more positive crosses all the way along here. So if that cross is positive, it just takes the RSI divergence right out of the question. And we'll have to watch how that unfolds because the 4 hour has crossed positive, but it's losing a bit of steam in the histogram. The 1 hour has crossed negative, and we have an exhaustion candle and a little 1, 2, 3 right there. So breaks below that with these negative signs coming on, that's a sell signal. It's been up far enough that would be room enough to have a small little sell signal just to play and practice, because you can micro trade. This is the whole thing, is micro trade. Get these habits. Got to watch this to make sure that it also stays negative. We got an exhaustion wick to the downside. So if this is our indicator, we could almost sit and watch this. If it crosses negative while we break, we know it's a sell signal. Now let's go see what the Ichimoku is telling me, because Ichimoku has proven itself too often. So I want to go to the 12-hour time frame, and for this range of time, you would be able to let it ride if you got in here, right? Then you're okay to let that bounce, not a worry. And you want to practice knowing how far you'll let things go so that you stay in for the trend. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, this is a little bit positive. What was the other we saw that crossed positive? It must have been ADA. So should it hold support above this level and give us that bigger ascending wedge triangle? Oh yeah, we're getting some real good juice. So any kind of short trade now just gets staunched for me, just gets smaller. It's not giving us enough signals to matching for a sell that's strong right now. When this is looking strong, it is a bit of a top, but we could come back into this Ichimoku cloud again. It's giving me that same pattern over and over again. So I'll watch for that as things unfold. As we zoom in, we could get that short-term sell signal, certainly. It's all setting up to be an Ichimoku cloud sell signal here. It's just a matter of how deep will it go. And the other Ichimoku clouds are giving it support. So where's my thing here? All right. So that blasts us through ADA, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, and Ethereum. Let's go back now and take a look at Litecoin. Does it need further analysis? Step back out. Well, I don't like the RSI setup here right now, except that we have higher lows here. That there's a bit of a divergence setting up there, and we have a nice down trend line that if that breaks, where's my drawing tool? If that breaks up this way and across the midway, then that's verifying that we're having a continuation of the uptrend. So we have a very specific range in the RSI for it to break above here on the 12-hour time frame. If I go to the 4-hour time frame, this will give us inside view. If it's already breaking negative and not poking itself up above here, then just more time to wait. Just wait for this bottom formation to manifest. It could go sideways for another 2 months. We just don't know. And I don't want to invest into something that's going sideways. It's better to wait until it's proven itself going a direction and then put the money into those ones. So just to go over Litecoin in the MACD, I'm not as interested in on-balance volume on this because it's not close enough to a trade signal. This is negative, and those histograms there are telling us which way we're watching for. Let's zoom in on that because they gave us a little bit of power and they're easing off. We did cross positive, but it's getting weak as well here. And we have lower lows on this, so more time to wait for Litecoin. It's not giving us juice right now. And how about the Ichimoku cloud on the 3-month time frame? Wow, I was expecting this to be up above the cloud and give us lots of room, blah, blah, blah. No way. This is laying on the cloud on the 4-hour time frame as well. So no buy signal here. It gave us a poke above and right back out of it. And the best way to filter these is the 1, 2, 3 top formation and the trend line, because a top formation always happens faster than a bottom formation. So combining that little 1, 2, 3 top, the trend line, the crossover of this indicator here, the MACD was crossing negative, the RSI was diverging negative. All of those things were telling us that this was easing off. And nothing is really rocking to tell us that it's setting up to blast off yet either. So let's zoom in just a quick more, zoom in a bit more. Nothing good here. Like all of it, right to the 5-minute Ichimoku is saying just chill, just wait. Maybe even going down further. Wasn't expecting that actually. It's my bias, right? Look at Bitcoin dominance. It's gone to 68.2 and it was 67 odd when we started the stream. So I'll let that load up, but there it is. If I go into the close range time frame, I'm really not wanting to see candle wicks to the upside and a change of this direction, because that's the alts fading and hovering as Bitcoin's doing whatever it's doing. It doesn't matter which way Bitcoin's going, but if this pulls back, then the alts are stalling. And we'll tune in to see what this is doing throughout the day as things are changing, especially when we have a breakout or a breakdown. Now, if we go into TRX, we are looking at much the same scenario with these lower lows, so that we got a divergence here that's not so happy, and lower here, we've got this trend line that to me feels like if it breaks down below this trend line in the 4-hour relative strength index, prices are coming down from here. And I don't expect it to be deep, but just a continuation of this bottom formation, more development, which is good for us to sit back and let it develop. So that's the 4-hour time frame. The 1-hour time frame also weakening off in the front edge. The 15-minute time frame's not as clear to me. Never is. So I want to go to TRX in the 3-month view to look at the crossover. Could be crossing to the positive for the MACD. It's already crossed to the positive for the 4-hour, but easing off there. Did the 1-hour cross to the negative? Yeah. So we're getting this all in all of them. The 4-hour is good, but the 1-hour is crossing negative. Boom, boom, boom. It's like dominoes happening here. So if I go out to the... Oh, wow. Again. I was expecting this one to show us better juice off of this bottom compared to the cloud, but it's weak. So if I go into the 4-hour time frame, it's underneath that. This was another one of those that had the crossover while we had the top formation and all those divergences going on. It was screaming. So wonderful to see this actually playing out, but feels like it needs another bounce down here yet before we're going to be jumping up. Zoom in. Oh, this is above the cloud. What it's 1-hour time frame. So it is above the cloud. If it holds itself here, and then we start to see the divergences chilling out in our other indicators, this could give us that turnaround. It would be the bounce in the Ichimoku cloud if it bounced off this cloud. Now Ripple. Let's go through Ripple on the relative strength index, and we'll step out to the longer term time frame because it's giving us a very clear divergence here. Very saying, okay, we just run out of steam here. Got the wind knocked out of me here. So what this means then is that if this crosses below this line, this trend line, well, we're coming back further. And I would expect it will retouch these levels. Oh, here's that example. Clear this off. Change to just the chart. Here's the example I was thinking of. I like green much better than red. August, price level. And then September price level was below, and then prices have broken above this mid-level. So we have this range that happened, and then things went down below that range and made a little 1, 2, 3 and broke above it. Now they've gone above this range, this mirror image basically. 1, 2, 3 and it broke lower. Bottom 1, 2, 3 broke higher. We have a percentage of coins that are ahead of the bell curve. They are already above these levels, and those are the ones that are racking up these great percentages. 31% on KNC, Vibe, MDA. All of these coins are those front leaders that are above this formation, and we caught them as they were setting up. So it's phenomenal. Now the question is, after we're done the 1, 2, 3 formation, what's next in the trade? That's the fun part. So little segue there. After we looked at the relative strength index, let's zoom in on it and zoom in on it. So it is weakening off here. Should we see this change and come down past this midline, that is pretty important. Breaks below the midline or down. Breaks below the midline or down. If it bounces off, then it's giving us another really clear signals, really clear places to take action just by watching what the RSI is doing. And that's the 4-hour time frame. Zoom in on the 1-hour time frame. This is okay. So long as we get a break of this trend line to the upside, that will confirm this way. Or if we get another break and lower down, well, of course, it'll match up with the selling. Now, I don't want to do this one. Let's go into Ripple, 3-month time frame. Oh, you see, I've already drawn this out earlier in a different example. Prettier. And in this example, I see a negative divergence here from these two tops. Let me clear this off. Nice example. Negative divergence of these two tops, but we need to have this cross to the positive on the 12-hour, which means that the 4-hour better be crossing positive already, and the 1-hour too. And if they're not, they're going to drag the 12-hour down. Let's go into the, okay, dragging the 12-hour down, cross to the negative, kind of a divergence off this top. I was figuring this is going to go more, but this is not telling me that. Not until this crosses positive and the 4-hour crosses back positive in order to save the 12-hour from going negative. All of those things have to nest together now from this 1-hour time frame. And if the 1-hour starts to flare negative as we're breaking below these levels, those are confirmations of everything else that we've been seeing setting up here. So in review, these seem to me like they are going to pull back in the short term. We've got these tops, we've got these divergences, and that's about as long as it needs to take. And then, of course, the basic 50% Fibonacci could be our projected pullback. We could go back to this 50%. It would be perfect, like really perfect, especially if we then come up and we're establishing this larger ascending wedge triangle. It'd be better if it didn't go quite that deep, actually. That would help us with the ascending wedge triangle shape. So let's watch what's going on as this comes back. How far deep is it going to go? Is it going to give us this ascending wedge triangle? Because that would be so awesome. So obvious. So unstoppable once you get around to this kind of momentum change like that. There's big news going on. There's big changes going on in the world. Just a little bit of this could be huge. So that wraps us up for the main part of this stream. I want to go through these coins regularly over and over again. It gives you a little taste of what we're doing in the rest of our studies. So if you're interested in becoming a patron sponsor, I am looking for, and I want to congratulate people who are sponsors. Woo. Thank you very much, Gunbot University Wally. Philip joined up 2 days ago. Roger just joined up yesterday. Chris, Crypto Street, Julian, Carl, Patrick, Philip, the other Chris, and Usman, thank you for being regular contributors. You are helping build this platform for us. And what I'm doing now in the Patreon channel is that when I get 20 people, just 9 more at the $15 a month level, I'm going to invest in the spreadsheet automation that'll send a daily email to all of our patron sponsors with the reports from the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. That is, you'll get an overview, a general overview of what is a buy signal, what is an alert signal, what is an exit signal in all of the coins on Binance and all of the coins on Poloniex. This is huge. You don't find anything like this out there for $15 a month. And if we get just 9 more sponsors, I'll upgrade that so that this emails out a report to everybody rather than you needing to log in to review what we're doing on our daily updates. So that would be phenomenal to have that fill up and get our sponsors up to over 20 patrons. That would be great. And if you're interested in more detail, then our crypto alerts package has got a link down below as well. It's doing amazing, and you'll watch these numbers grow and grow and grow. They were set up into some amazing trades. We have our stop losses above our entries on these, and we're just waiting for the trend to take off. These are going to go up into hundreds of % of profit. If this is the turnaround, this is the moment. And everyone who misses it will definitely FOMO. Everybody who will FOMO, for sure. They will look back and say, oh, if only I had gone to the website and taken that free webinar and understood more about these 1, 2, 3 bottoms and how significant they are. you would have probably just sat still, get into a position and hold it, because that's where we're going to make our big money, the hundreds of % profits. So if you've got any cryptos you'd like me to review, I'd be happy to go through this process and rack them through our indicator set. We'll go through the relative strength index, the on-balance volume, MACD, and Ichimoku cloud. And we can come up with trading signals for all of these markets that are setting up right now. I always want to check out KuCoin. This isn't doing nearly as I thought it would. As it was making this formation here, and we had all this volume going on, I thought, oh, here it comes. And that breakout there, but maybe just a bit early. All of the other cryptos dumped a lot more than this did. So this bottom formation, while we've been holding a bottom all the way along since June, this is a very rare coin actually to be holding its bottom. Most everything else was making a bottom, a lower bottom, a lower bottom. And now we are coming back up just above those August bottoms for most of the coins. So to see this one holding its own is very good in the long term. We'll see what that ends up doing. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Oh, one thing I didn't do is to go into the Bitcoin longs and the Bitcoin shorts. Just to document it again here. The longs are coming down, and that's good, but I'm expecting that they're not down far enough yet. And that with the little bit of move upward, there's going to be a whole bunch of people jumping back into their long positions. And once it gets up to these levels, this 26.4 level, whatever this number means, then I think that we're going to find that next wave down. And I'm just marking this in advance and checking to see what the indicators might do as we're setting up like this. As this formation plays out, what would we be expecting to see in the indicators as this played out? How could we get ready for it on the top and the bottom? Those are the kind of things I'd like to ask. So, great to have you guys along. I appreciate you being here. I hope that you find this helpful and that it helps you make money or not lose as much, not lose money. Learning your risk control rules to prevent yourself from losing that money at the beginning of a trade is so important. We all need to practice it and practice it and practice it. BTC is going lower now. Oh, wrong. Let's go to the 1 minute view. Yep, slipped right off that. And here it is. Double top and a fading indicator. So we have the divergence shaping up and telling us right there. And I know that if we go into Bitcoin relative strength index, MACD indicator, and we zoom into the 15-minute view, we can see that we had, same thing, cross to the negative, just as this was wicking out and pulled back. So then it broke this top formation, and there's your, if you had been playing around with longs here, certainly this is your exit as it breaks those levels. And now we're fading wider, so it seems to be gaining momentum for the downside right as we speak. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to be capturing it. Not cool for the price move, but that's because I'm not short right now. So good to have you guys along. Time for me to finish up, and I will see you over on our Discord chat. If you haven't already, be sure to come over and join us there. Okay, so before I'm going to switch off to music and sign off, and I'm just going to leave it run for a bit while I test out some stuff with this chat that is not working on the home page. Really pissing me off to no end. So I'll sign off and I'll see you guys over on our Discord chat. Cheers.